Did you know 2/3 of adults aren't getting enough sleep? According to the CDC, roughly 1 in 3 adults sleep less than the recommended 7 hours per night. But here's the thing most people miss. It's not just how long you're in bed, it's how well you're sleeping while you're there. Because a lot of people are technically getting 7 or 8 hours and still waking up feeling like someone replaced their brain with mashed potatoes overnight. And that's becoming really common. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Sleep in 2022 found that chronic sleep deprivation is associated with increased risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, depression, weakened immunity, infertility, and even 20 to 30% higher mortality risk. So, not exactly a minor lifestyle issue. So when people joke about
sleeping when you're dead,
that strategy is actually moving you a little closer to the punchline. And the wild part is that modern life is basically designed to wreck your sleep. Things like your phone, your lighting, your stress, your schedule, everything about the way we live is working against the way our brains evolved to sleep. But the good news is this: there are a handful of simple, science-backed sleep habits that can dramatically improve your sleep quality. Not weird supplements, not expensive gadgets, just things your brain and body already know how to respond to. And if you implement even a few of these consistently, you'll probably fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, and wake up feeling like a person instead of a malfunctioning Roomba. In this video, I'm breaking down science-backed sleep hacks you need in 2026. And we're not talking about vague advice like, go to bed earlier. We're gonna talk about why your morning routine determines how well you sleep at night, how light exposure literally sets your brain's internal clock, why your phone is basically a portable insomnia generator, and one sleep strategy that, when combined with everything else, makes the biggest difference. Because sleep isn't just recovery. Sleep is basically the operating system for your entire body and future. Hormones, brain function, fat loss, muscle repair, mood, immune function, even fertility, and your future. All of it runs on sleep. And again, not just how long you are in bed, but how deep your sleep actually is. When you sleep, your brain cycles through different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. I think we've heard these before. Deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep, is when your body repairs tissues, restores energy, regulates hormones, and strengthens memory. REM sleep is when your brain processes emotions and learning. So if you're waking up constantly, scrolling before bed, stressed out, or getting blasted with artificial light late at night, you might technically be asleep for 7 hours, but your brain is getting terrible sleep quality. It's like sitting in your car for 8 hours and telling people you drove across the country. Yes, you were in the vehicle, but nothing actually happened. Here's the problem. Humans evolved for hundreds of thousands of years with one major signal controlling sleep. And you guess it? The sun. Light meant wake up, dark meant sleep. But in 2026, we basically flipped that system upside down. We wake up in the dark, we spend most of our day indoors, and then at night, we blast our eyeballs with LED lights and scroll our phones until midnight. And then people say, "Don't know why I can't sleep." Your brain is trying to run a circadian rhythm program designed for caves and campfires, while your lifestyle looks like a Las Vegas casino. Lights everywhere, screens everywhere, stress everywhere, stimulation everywhere, and your brain is just sitting there like, I genuinely have no idea what time it is. Which is why so many people are stuck in this loop. Exhausted all day, wide awake at night, coffee or caffeine in the morning, melatonin gummies at night, and repeat. But once you understand how deep sleep actually works, you can start working with your biology instead of against it. So let's get into the hacks. Hack number 1, your bedtime routine starts when you wake up. Most people think sleep starts at night. It doesn't. Sleep starts when you wake up. The biggest regulator of your circadian rhythm is morning light exposure. And if you follow health science at all, you've probably already heard this advice from Dr. Andrew Huberman, the king of scientific life hacks.
Get your sleep right is get your morning sunlight exposure, ideally within an hour of waking up. Again, if you wake up before the sun comes out, flip on as many lights as you possibly can. if you want to be awake.
Get sunlight in your eyes within the first hours of waking, preferably when the sun is still low in the sky. According to research from Stanford and studies published in the Journal of Biological Rhythms, exposure to natural sunlight in the morning helps regulate your circadian clock by triggering cortisol release and starting the melatonin timer for later that night. In other words, morning sunlight tells your brain, okay, day has started. We'll sleep later. A study published in Sleep Health in 2017 found that people who get morning sunlight exposure fall asleep earlier and faster than people who stay indoors. Think of your circadian rhythm like a 24-hour timer. Morning sunlight hits start. If you never press start, your brain doesn't know when to press stop. So one of the simplest sleep hacks you can do is wake up, go outside. Even 5 to 10 minutes helps. 20 to 30 minutes is even better, but who has that time? No sunglasses, just light hitting your eyes. A beautiful thing. You don't have to stare directly at the sun like you're performing an ancient ritual. Just go outside. Don't overthink it. Walk if you want to. Stand, sit, drink your coffee outside. Stand there while the dog smells the same bush for 10 minutes. Your brain clock will thank you later. Hack number 2, stop turning your bedroom into a movie theater. Your brain associates environments with behaviors. This concept is called stimulus control, and it's one of the most effective behavioral sleep interventions. Research published in Behavioral Sleep Medicine shows that people who only use their bed for sleep fall asleep faster and wake up less during the night. But most people use their bed for Netflix, scrolling, emails, YouTube. So their brain starts associating the bed with being awake and entertained. Your brain basically learns, oh, cool, we're in bed. This is where we watch 4 episodes of The Office. So when you try to sleep, your brain stays in entertainment mode. And if you're not watching anything, your brain's gonna make up its own stories. Think of it like a gym. If you walked into a gym and everyone was sleeping on the floor, well, you'd be a little confused, but your brain expects environments to have one main purpose. Bed equals sleep and one other thing. And that's the rule. Hack number 3, screens are wrecking your sleep. Blue light suppresses melatonin. Most people have heard that, but the effect is bigger than people realize. A study from Harvard Medical School found that exposure to blue light at night suppressed melatonin production and shifted circadian rhythms by about 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. That's the difference between falling asleep at 10 p.m. and staring at the ceiling at 1 a.m., wondering why your brain just remembered something embarrassing you said in 2008. And it's not just the light, it's the stimulation. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an argument on Twitter, a stressful email, a news headline, or an actual threat. It just releases stress hormones, which makes your mind not shut up. So when people say, my brain just won't shut off at night, yeah, duh. Because you just fed it 3 hours of psychological espresso. What do you think would happen? A simple rule that helps most people. No screens 60 minutes before bed. I know, the internet just collectively screamed, impossible. What do you want me to do? But your brain needs a runway before sleep. You can't go from TikTok chaos straight into deep restorative sleep. Hack number 4, your brain cools itself to sleep. Another interesting sleep mechanism is body temperature regulation. Your core body temperature naturally drops at night to help initiate sleep. According to research published in Sleep Medicine Reviews, that drop in temperature signals the brain that it's time to transition into sleep, which is why cooler bedrooms help so much. The ideal sleep temperature is usually around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, according to the National Sleep Foundation. But here's a trick that sounds backwards. A warm shower or bath before bed can actually help you fall asleep faster. Warm water pulls blood towards your skin. When you get out, your body cools quickly. That cooling effect helps trigger sleep. A meta-analysis published in Sleep Medicine Reviews in 2019 found that a warm bath 1 to 2 hours before bed helped people fall asleep about 10 minutes faster. And if you're someone who lies awake forever, 10 minutes is huge. Here's the ultimate sleep hack though, and it's not glamorous. Consistency. Your circadian rhythm loves predictability. Your brain likes knowing when things happen. A study published in Sleep in 2017 found that irregular sleep schedules were associated with worse sleep quality and poor metabolic health. Your brain wants to know when it's time to shut down. So the ultimate sleep strategy looks like this. Morning sunlight in some capacity. Consistent sleep and wake times. Dim lights at night. Cool bedroom, no phone chaos before bed. Stack those habits together. Progressively overload one thing first, and sleep quality dramatically improves. Because sleep isn't something you force or stress about. Sleep is something you allow. You create the conditions. Your brain handles the rest. Sleep isn't laziness. Sleep is maintenance, and it is a skill. Your brain literally cleans itself through sleep. Think of it like a night shift cleaning crew for your brain. If you don't sleep, the trash piles up. Cute, right? So if you want better workouts, better focus, better energy throughout the day, better hormones, better health, better future, better recovery, start with your sleep. Commit to it like you would a 12-week strength program. Try implementing 1 or 2 of these sleep hacks this week and let me know in the comments how it goes. And if you want to go deeper on recovery, watch my next video where I break down the 3 most important things for recovery that most people ignore. One of them we covered in this video. Subscribe for more science-backed training and wellness content where we bring what we know in our heads and actually act them in our lives through our identity and behavior shifts. I'll see you in the next one.